Hi, I'm Mike Roberts. At Magic 100, we're proud of our efforts to deliver local news to you. And you've told us that's one of the reasons you tune in. We thank you. We're locally owned, and our commitment to this community remains strong. You'll find local news at the top of the hour, weekday mornings at 6, 7, 8, and 9 a.m., and again at 6 p.m. Tell your friends, we're your source for local news on the FM band at 100.1. Middle Georgia's only classic soul hit station. Magic 100.
This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It is episode 136 in the building. And the crowd goes wild. Yes. Damn, how long's it been? I feel like one of the old Johnny Carson breaks. I don't know nobody say who. Johnny who? Late night.
No, we say go call Doc Severinsen. How about that?
Nah, we took 1 week off though, y'all. Welcome back, episode 136. This is the G Podcast. Each week we do news, politics, pop culture. That piping hot tea from the one and only Tonya B. And you know, man, I'm telling you, Vi, when you don't do the benediction, Vi, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm sorry. Shit goes crazy. I know that's disrespectful, but when we don't get it, man, it's just like I don't know, man. Got to be something to that. But anyway, this is quite the week, man, and I haven't even gotten to the personal stuff, the losses that we've had on the music scene, in our city, personal. We're gonna get to that in a few minutes, but I just so much. I mean, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it in news. Syracuse Mike is off for the reasons will become apparent as we talk this week about some of this stuff. But I'm gonna be like you, Tonya B. I'm gonna keep it on the sunny side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever see that movie, Brother, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Out there. Oh,
the bluegrass. Keep it on the sunny side.
The street. I keep it on the real side.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna keep it. Keep it 100 anyway.
Yes.
But again, we do news, politics, pop culture, that piping hot tea from the one and only Tonya B. And you are hearing her. Y'all give it up for the one and only Tonya B. In the building.
I'm not cooking today.
Not cooking? No cooking? You got your...
Oh, actually...
go ahead.
No, well, I tell you what I did last night. I did a seafood boil for quite a large group. So I'm talking lobster, crab legs, shrimp, corn, potatoes, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. So how many folks would you say? You said large.
I think by the time, for me to cook for 9 people in, a 1,200 square foot space is it's a lot, but it was good. Great dessert. And I do have something I'm cooking tomorrow, and this is maybe Howard might know about this. Hey, Howie.
What's up, Howard?
I'm working tomorrow. I just want to do something different. It's based in Cleveland and Chicago. It's called the Polish boy sandwich, where you might take a Polish sausage, or in my case, smoked turkey sausage, and then you top it with coleslaw. Then you drizzle over some hot sauce. Then you top that with French fries and drizzle some barbecue sauce on top of that. It's called the Polish boy on a French roll.
That sounds like heartburn. Upset stomach.
It's probably going to be really good though. But they there are certain things. Yeah, exactly. But I think it's going to be interesting, and so I'm going to grill the sausage tomorrow, and I'll let you know how it works out. Now that I'm back off, off the road again. Yeah. When I'm away and I don't cook, when I get home, I get back in my bag.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, and sorely missed.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back. I know you got that piping hot tea coming up. Yes. And he is back, y'all. Give it up, the one and only, Forsyth, Georgia's own, Columbus, GA. Vi is back in the building. Vi, I got to ask you, Vi, a couple of sports questions, man. Serena Williams knocked out in the first round, brother. What happened? Wait a minute, you on, Vi? Unmute yourself, man. I think you muted. Or what? Tonya B, can you hear Why?
Serena just wasn't ready. And sometimes you don't have to be everywhere and do everything.
Yeah.
And, And to be honest with you, no tea, no shade. I think Venus and Serena both, I think they have peaked. So if they were to walk away from the game of tennis right now and say we are going to officially retire, they've made history. Yeah. I know Coco Gauff's not doing too well. You know what's going on with Naomi Osaka. I think she may transition out of sports altogether now that she's got this agency going with LeBron and his people.
Right.
So you know what? Let's just make room for the next little brown girl to come up. I don't think there won't be any. Well, for those who really know, there will not be any less of what the Williams sisters have contributed to the game of tennis or just the culture overall. So honestly, I think it's time for them to retire.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I hate seeing her knocked out in the first round.
Right, exactly. Who wants to?
It's cool, for people who like Wimbledon, but I hate seeing her knocked out like that first round. So either way, Vi, we know you're here, Vi. We'll hit you up in a minute, man. We'll get back to you. But here's the deal. Syracuse Mike is out this week. We had a couple of deaths, man, in the radio business, in the music industry this week. That kind of rocked everybody's world, man. As a matter of fact, I was actually going to tape last Sunday and heard and got the word, that one of my mentors in the business passed away. I think the night before, and we're gonna talk to him. Talk about him and kind of point to some of the things that he did that impacted, our community. But, let's go ahead and we'll do this and I'll just kind of, try to talk my way through this without Mike. But here we go.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
Syracuse Mike again, a well-deserved week off. And hope he's doing well. And we'll address some of the things that have just impacted our week. I know I'm teasing y'all, but definitely want to make sure we mention it on this podcast. But, nationally, this is weird. July 4th, the July 4th shooting last week, just unfortunate for the folks near Chicago to have that happen at a parade. And the father of the 21-year-old, the mass shooter, again, who killed 7 people, wounded dozens. I mean, you just hear dozens. I mean, I heard, one number, 30 something, in terms of people getting trampled, people getting shot. So his dad is saying he wants his son to serve a long sentence. He said, I want a long sentence. He said, that's life. You have consequences for your actions. He made a choice, didn't have to do it. And his son faces 7 counts of murder, life sentence, and because Illinois no longer has a death sentence, death penalty. And but the thing, Tonya B. and Vi, that I have to say,
I know what you're gonna say.
You know what he's responsible. He's
in denial.
But not only is he in denial, he's complicit. And the reason I say that, he sponsored the what do you call it, the firearm owner's identification card. Saying that how first of all, your son has threatened the family. He said, "I'm gonna kill all you."
Right.
That's,
and you know what he thinks? And again, I'm just gonna call a thing a thing.
Yeah.
Non-people of color, get your heads out of the sand. That's not just one of those things a teenager says. When they say it repeatedly, you need to listen.
Wait a minute, hang on. Can you say that one more time? It is not normal.
And again, I say, and just like that woman in Uvalde, Texas, talking about her son's not a monster. He killed 21 people and shot his grandmother in the face because she wanted him to pay his cell phone bill. If he's not a monster, lady, what is he? Again, I say, the parents when parents are held accountable, what's been, not to sidebar too much, but that young man that went into the school, and I think it might have been Illinois too. They said that, the parents went on the run and left the kid. They said they weren't responsible. Hasn't that gotten real quiet? But again, the news cycle keeps changing because it's like every time you look up, there's a mass shooting somewhere. But again, I say this father has to bear some responsibility. He's in denial. If your son, you have a son, Tony B.
No, he said if your son,
right.
Go ahead.
If your son threatened to kill their family on more than one occasion, would you really go out and sponsor him to get a gun?
Oh,
please?
Hell no. I mean, first of all, back in the day, if I had said something like that, okay, you know how old I am. I'd still be on the floor.
They would have killed you. They would have killed you. It wouldn't have been, they would have killed you.
30, 40 years later, my ass would still be at that spot looking up in a coma because they did not.
And wait,
God, I mean, excuse my language, Vaughn, but I would have heard.
You'd have pulled back a nub. You, Tommy B, you would have pulled back a nub. I'm telling you.
Dude, go ahead, Tommy B. Go ahead. I'm just saying, I got so many backhands riding in the car saying smart shit.
Yeah.
You know, if I'd have said, I'm going to kill all y'all, I'd have been laid out to this day.
No, it would have been like, oh, you want to kill me? Let me show you how it's done. And even if Big Mama had to go and get her shoe.
Yeah. It would have been
the one with the boomerang on it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's like no, you would have been pulling back a nub.
Yeah.
You would probably have dentures to this day still on the floor because you would have lost a couple of teeth.
I cannot imagine hearing somebody say in a family like that, I'm gonna kill all y'all, and then the family coming out saying, well, that's just what teenagers go through. Oh hell no. No.
Not in my house. Not in
my crib. It wouldn't have happened.
Not in this culture. Let's call a thing a thing.
Well,
that's why.
The police several times have been called. The suicide attempts. I just really, hearing those families in Highland Park, hearing them talk about losing loved ones. It's just. I mean, that kind of shit needs to stop. And I'm telling you, the only way that it's going to stop is if we start arresting the parents. If he's telling this to the Washington Post, but I would take this information that he's given the Washington Post, and this would be self-incrimination. I mean I would use it on the stand, and I would try to get some type of manslaughter charge against these parents, man. But go ahead, Tonya.
Isn't there something called aiding and abetting?
Yes.
Or, yes. That, or just, anyway, let me just say this. And now you got this man out here in denial about his child, but then you got the mother of Breonna Taylor and the father of Jacob Wright who are out there on the ground with the foot soldiers protesting, and they got arrested.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
You know what, please?
It's just like this. And I was hoping, K-Dub, because I was going to ask him how Ohio was doing, because you got the situation in Ohio and Akron where the guy who was, of course, there was a traffic stop. He, decided, hey, I'm going to run. So he decided to flee. He did get out on foot. They said he did not have a gun at the time. They shot at him 90 times. 90 times. And he got hit 60? Missed. They hit him 60.
But no, here's my thing. They're not really good shots if you're going to fire off 90 rounds and you're going to miss 30. Did they miss? Were they not present in the class? Anyway.
Well, I'm just saying in comparison. Okay.
I mean, you know what? You can kill somebody with one shot.
That's what I'm saying.
Here, these are trained police. So what made you feel like you were in such fear of your life, you had to, between the two of them, fire off 90 rounds? You kept shooting the man. I mean, no tea, no shade. That's a Swiss cheese sandwich right there. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I agree. All right, and also, we've been keeping up with the Brittney Griner story, and she sent a handwritten letter to President Biden this week, and she basically has said she's terrified, and she feels like she might be there forever. She pleaded guilty, and a lot of people are saying that she pleaded guilty basically so that they can go ahead and start the negotiation.
Right, to get her back home.
To get her back home, possible, prisoner swap with this Russian arms dealer who the U.S. has in custody. And in a press conference, her wife, Cheryl, called for her release alongside WNBA players. I think the WNBA commissioner, Al Sharpton, has gotten involved, which I think, I think that's right. I mean, just like when Jesse Jackson went over to Libya. And
but you know what? I will say this.
Go ahead.
I will say this. Yeah. I actually want to give 5 on it to women's soccer star Megan. They call Rapinoe. I think it's Megan Rapinoe. Yeah. She, even when she got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, she has, she paying homage to Brittney Griner, and she's also been very vocal about, getting her back home too. And I mean, there are women in professional sports. Griner is basketball, Rapinoe is soccer, but I give her 5 on it for speaking up and being very vocal about what's what's going on in this situation.
And I'm very vocal about the fact that it's important that we do something to try to get more money for these WNBA women, these players, so that they don't have to go into these dangerous situations, like a part-time job. I mean, most of them averaging, 80,000? Where the average NBA salary or less, the NBA
some
salary
are making 40,000.
Yeah, 40,000. So I mean, it's like
2,000 times.
It's
more.
Like the GM at Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
Oh, but you know what?
Right. So I'm just saying.
Let me say this.
Go ahead, Tonya.
Well, then the pressure has to be, you have to bear down on. I forget whoever that commissioner is, the NBA commissioner, the one who actually sanctioned the WNBA in the start. You need to let's be a thorn in his side too, because I think he has to be culpable to a point for this too. Because why are you paying these women? There are people that work at Whole Foods that make more per hour than these professional WNBA players. Some of them are better than the men.
Yeah, yeah. I just think, ultimately, and it's a revenue thing. The NBA, makes a whole lot more money. I mean, close to billions. Where, the WNBA is still in the, if anything, maybe 100 millions for all those teams. So, but I do agree when you look at the salaries and some of the behavior, which I'm not going to get into with some of these players in the NBA, they need to start, taking that salary, whatever some of the penalties, and move the money over to the WNBA. I hope they'll consider that, because these women don't need to be going into some of these dangerous areas. Or these, unfriendly, these countries that really aren't friendly, because it can happen in Russia, it can happen in China, It
can happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere.
And you know what? This is the first situation that we are, on a global or a higher level that we are aware of. Don't think for one second, I need to go research this, that Brittney Griner is probably more than likely not the first woman professional athlete to have to deal with this. It's just never been talked about as much before. Yeah,
so true. Hey, the other thing, and we had not, of course, we weren't on the air to do a show last week. We didn't do a podcast, but I have to send condolences out to the family, listeners, and colleagues of Atlanta radio legend Mitch Faulkner. Of course, this weekend, as we tape, they held the homegoing services, and I was able to go by on Friday of this week to the visitation, and of course the funeral was held the wake and visitation was on Friday, and then Saturday they held the funeral, and
that was a beautiful service.
Beautiful service. They live streamed it. It was definitely well done and deserving. And Mike, of course, Mike was very close to Mitch. When I asked Mike, about the situation, because he made me aware of the situation, he said, hey, Mitch was an incredible guy, and he touched a lot of lives, not just
he really
as a
did
DJ, but also through his company On Mike Productions, because Mike hired Mitch he was here. If you're in the Atlanta area, WCLK, which is Clark Radio,
Clark
Atlanta. And Mitch worked there. He got to start there. Mike hired him into the pros, so to speak, where he worked at WIGO. He went on to do afternoons at V103, which is the top. Well, I can't even say top anymore. It's not. It was top then. But
it is anymore. A radio station in Atlanta. It's gone through a lot of changes, but don't forget, I believe, even since I've been in Atlanta.
I'll shoot my shot. Go ahead.
No, when I got here, he was on Kiss 104, and there's no doubt in my mind he left his mark, with that too. And, I really got to know him once I moved here to Atlanta. I had interaction with him early in my career in the 90s. But I would say one thing about this, a lot of people in this industry, creative people, can be a little quirky and a little kind of to the left.
Yep.
I will say this, in the 30 some odd years that I had known Mitch Faulkner, I never, ever heard that man raise his voice.
Yeah, so true. So true. He was very, very cool, very, very thoughtful in his advice as a mentor, but definitely he kept his cool. And On Mike Productions, I think a lot of people probably, let me see if I can get this, Tonya B. Hang on.
They've heard it.
I'm going to play something.
They've heard his voice.
Here's when he was on Kiss. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go.
Kiss 104, Atlanta's R&B and throwback jams. This is Mitch Faulkner. It's about time for me to pack it up and get out of here. I want to thank everybody who called in this evening. Thank everybody who listened. Thank everybody around the country who tuned in over the internet and on the app. And so you can follow Kiss 104 on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So have yourself a great remainder of the evening. No matter what you do, understand what tomorrow is. So go somewhere and lift him up, and you have a great one. I'll talk to you again next Saturday night here on Kiss 104. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was Mitch, and that was Mitch when he did the Saturday night, show on Kiss 104. And but a lot of folks, if you've been around long enough, you've heard his voice on concerts. He did the original, I think the commercial for If Beauty Shop.
Yeah, and even he did a lot of commercials for sports,
for sports
teams.
Yeah, sports teams. So he is Radio Hall of Fame inductee, Atlanta Radio Hall of Fame, Black Radio Hall of Fame, and he'll be missed. He'll definitely be missed. So rest in power, Mitch. And we know you got a DJ gig up in heaven, brother.
Yeah. But one thing about this, I say the fact that he really believed in that each one, teach one, reach one. He did. He didn't take his knowledge with him. He spread it, for really, I say far and wide in the best way, where he did mentor a lot of people, and especially a lot of females too. And at a time when it was still really difficult for females to get, on the production side, for females, to even get a full-time on-air gig, and, for females to do voiceovers as well.
Yeah, so true. So rest in power, Mitch. And the other passing, and this is the one last week, I'm in the car running errands on, was it Sunday before 4th, and get a call. And you know how you get that call, Tonya B., and you're like, why is this person calling me on a Sunday morning? Let me pull over. So it was the brother of Bernard of J.R. Dino. And J.R. in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, had a mobile club DJ business. It was called $1 Million Record Pool. And the way it worked was if you were a DJ, if you were either in the club, if you were you did clubs, or you were mobile, you got your promotional copies from somewhere. So instead of having to run around and try to get the labels to give you money or give you, product. You had to you pay them for the product. You paid Dino to be a member of his club. And basically he would distribute all the music from the labels to you on a weekly basis. You just had to give him feedback that would in turn help the label. So that was the business he did. He was probably one of the most successful Black DJ record pools, because you had, back in the day, you had a successful white DJ mobile and club pool called Dixie Dance Kings. But considering the name, wasn't a whole lot of brothers in the Dixie Dance Kings. So, of course, Dino launched his own thing. I was in college, man. I was at Troy State, and, needed vinyl. I think you went on me on some runs to pick up my music. But
music man.
Yes. So we stopped over in College Park, and we would always get our vinyl, pick up the vinyl from Dino. But here's the thing, and no disrespect to Dino, because he was a good man, soft spoken. Toward the end of his life, we still spoke because he listened to the podcast. But when I was in school, and I was of age, I was at that point of club age. So he would say, hey man, I'll give you a break on your monthly dues if you take the product out to these clubs. And I'm like, well, what clubs are going to be open during the day? So dun dun dun. So
Magic City.
So I would deliver to all the strip clubs. That was like before I went home. I'd go to back in the day, I knew all the strip clubs in Atlanta. I knew,
so you had to hook up. DC from Tag Team, worked at Magic City and Purple Onion and Nicky's and, all those back in the day, because they were club DJ, all the club DJs there. But a gentle giant, Dino's like 6'9", you walk in his office, he stand up. Intimidating dude, but man, one of the nicest guys you could meet in the business. And, we talked about the fact that he played sports. He played some, ball,
back in the day, and it took a toll on his knees and his back. And later in life, that's really, he's been in some incredible pain over these last few years, to the point, I think, Tonya B., you said he was in a hospice situation not far from you.
Yeah.
Because the pain was just so much, and you deal, you see a guy back in the day, I think Dino was probably 6'9", 6'10", probably, close to 300 pounds. The last time I saw him, he was like under 200 pounds. I mean, he had dropped so much weight, and he was still, basically, just eroding. So, rest in power, man. Just a guy. The other thing, I mean, Tonya B., you'll remember Jack the Rapper. Dino.
Oh, absolutely. That was the height. That's when I came to mind you, I'm coming to Jack the Rapper from the Northeast.
Yeah.
But once I hit Atlanta, that's how that was the place. And if you were doing and saying something, if you were able to actually become a member of $1 Million Record Pool. I mean, they were actually one of the few record pools that would report.
We reported. Yeah, and
back in the day,
The other thing, where Dino would place a lot of us in the suites, because you had different suites. All the labels had suites, so the DJs would attend the convention. Was it August? It was August, right? Every August, and we'd go to the over by the airport, and different radio people would come in, go through the suites, and we'd be playing the product. Shout out to your boy, your favorite, Ruben Rodriguez and Wanda. I had to work this week.
Rest in peace, Ruben. Yeah, rest in peace, Ruben.
Rest in peace. But needless to say, that was an experience. But just big thanks to Dino, because he made it. He made a lot of stuff possible for a lot of people, man, and really put us in a position to win. And one more quick story. I don't know if this is a story, I may have told it on this show, where we did meetings once a month in Atlanta. And this guy came in with the mohawk, shaved bald, tall. Hey guys, blah, 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 blah. I got a new record. I'm going to New York and you're going to be hearing about it. And lo and behold, it's RuPaul. We learned, he goes to New York, gives the record to Tommy Boy. It's Supermodel, I guess, and it blows up. Next thing you know, how many years has that been? So
30
something.
So, it was like 1991, 92. So it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm just saying a lot of the people came through his doors, over the years in Atlanta. So rest in power, J.R. Dino. And by the way, the services are going to be held as we tape on the Sunday. It's going to actually be held July 13th, 7 p.m. at the Basillica of the Catholic Church downtown. 353 Peachtree Street. If you didn't get that, I'll put it on the podcast notes. But services for Dino, J.R. Dino, will be held July 13th, 7 p.m., Basilica of the Catholic Church. I mean, he was just, in terms of going to his mass, going to mass every week, he was just resilient until it got to the point where he couldn't do it anymore. So, I'm glad to see that his church decided to do this for him. So definitely, I'm planning on stopping by at 7 p.m. You'll be missed, definitely. The man who kept the dance floors full, supplied the DJs, J.R. Dino. Rest in power, Mitch Faulkner, for all you did as well. Okay, just a couple of quick things on the news side. This week, the January 6th commission's coming back, and the reason I'm mentioning this is they just announced as we tape today, Steve Bannon is going to testify, which. I don't know what they're gonna get at. That dude's nuts. And go ahead.
Are we gonna do anything with all this information we're putting out there? Or we just putting it out there?
Vi, here's the thing. I'm probably, of everybody on the podcast, I watch it more than anybody, and it's compelling.
Because I don't watch it at all.
Yeah. I don't think anybody who listens to this podcast checks it out. But it's some high drama. I think they're making some very good points, but it's just like this. Let me give you a quick comparison. Boris Johnson's ass resigned because he had a party.
Dims the brakes. Dims the brakes.
Boris Johnson had a party during COVID, and he's got a. You know what I'm saying? It's like and Donald Trump This thing has stormed the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Tried to take over the government. Tried to put a coup.
I get all that.
But here's my point. Listen to my point. My point is, for the record, all this stuff is going on the public record. This will be in the nation's history. You know what I'm saying? So he does not like this, nor do the Republicans like this. This is going on historical record for the nation. Okay, the other thing, huh?
He's the chosen one now.
Well, I'm just saying, you got 2 impeachments. You have this type of information going on the national record, and from what I'm hearing, he's supposed to be running early now. He's going to make a decision on whether or not he's going to run early, and you know why?
Exactly.
But you know why, Vi? You know why he's doing it?
So he can circumvent any legal ramifications.
Yes.
They don't even.
He doesn't want to go to jail.
He doesn't want to go to jail.
He's not going to go to jail. His ego now is like, now they tried to get me, and I'm still going to run for president again, and I'm still going to,
it's not just that
ego.
2 things. Might be ego, but it's jail and money. Because a lot of his donors, the folks who have been given the money, are looking at these. They're looking at these things. They're hearing this stuff, and they're saying, we don't know if we want to give you, we might be giving you money, but we don't want to give you this kind of money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, trust me, it's making that kind of impact. And depending, right now, this week, the White House counsel's coming. He's already been in for like 8 hours. I don't think he's going to testify live, but he's sat in as we tape the show today. He sat in for like 8 hours. And that's Pat Cipriano. I mean, I trust me, Vi, when you, I say that every day.
Those charges on it, even
I
if
agree.
you don't get him, at least throw some charges.
But you know what? I'm gonna do this. I gotta give it to UK. I gotta give it to the UK. Because the UK didn't fuck around. The UK said, look, you fucked up. You fucked up, man. And his people, everybody around him, regardless of party, they said, we're getting the hell on. His people resigned, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of thing, if America wants to continue, this is going to come down to the Republican Party. All this gaslighting and denial shit that they're doing right now is only going to make this last longer. And it's only going to endanger more people's lives because,
Definitely.
I mean, this is what it's all about. But you and I,
especially when you got Democrats saying the shooting that happened in Highland was orchestrated by the Democrat. I'm going, what?
Yeah. So I'm just saying,
you can say that
as much as I look at it, and as much as I've said, I never said don't do it, but I'm just like you, Vi. I said, hey, y'all got to make something happen, and they do. And I will take my hat off to Fani Willis. I'm gonna give it to her too, because.
I'm not going to give it to her.
But let me say this first, and then you could jump in, because she subpoenaed. What's that black dye number? Nice and easy. Rudy, nice and easy. Giuliani. He's got
number 9.
Number 9. He got us. He got a subpoena this week, as did Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. So she's moving forward, and she's gonna have to take some steps. Now go ahead with Fani. I'm gonna give it up to her.
Well, I'm gonna give it up to her, but let's okay, we're gonna take it back and call her Fanny, okay? Like Fantasia.
Okay.
Fanny, I would have liked to have seen her move a little bit sooner, and maybe she had to get all her ducks in a row. And if that's what it was, I give her 5 on it for that. But it's like, okay, girl, you got to stick it to him, just like I call whatever her name, Letitia up in New York.
But you know what? I got to give it to her, because New York had crickets.
I said, what's she doing?
New York.
What is she doing?
Tish James. I've heard nothing.
Letitia. Yes.
So you got, and y'all, one more thing on this tip, and we'll move on to you, Tonya B. But Lord, geez, it's bad enough I got to deal with political ads. It's bad enough we have to deal with political ads. But why we got to see Tim Scott from South Carolina doing these Herschel Walker ads? But I mean, I call it Bucky from the Cosby Kids, Mushmouth from the Cosby Kids.
So you know what he looks
Scott.
like? He looks like a milk dud. No, you're being nice. He looked like a milk dud in a suit. Let's just call it thing.
I don't care about that. I'm just saying, the man, and the reason I don't like Tim Scott is the reason we don't have police reform right now is Tim Scott, because he didn't have the balls to do what was necessary when he was the Republican in charge, working with the Democratic Party to try to negotiate something. And my point is, he'll never between he and Lindsey Graham, that's why South Carolina, and I can say it because I got family in South Carolina. That's why it is where it is, at the bottom, because you got people like Lindsey, you got people like Mushmouth running South Carolina. So,
they keep putting them in there.
That's what I'm saying. They keep putting them in there. So it's kind of like you keep putting this trash in to represent you.
What that white lady we keep putting in there?
Marjorie Taylor up north, up in Rome. Same thing.
It's Grace to George. I can't believe we can't find nobody better than her.
No. Well, hey, I'm gonna say this. If I don't know, I'm afraid to say it. If Herschel Walker becomes senator,
that's what I was just gonna say. We're gonna have her and Herschel Walker. Wow.
Man, what am I gonna do?
And they don't caught this man in so many untruths, and he still.
Oh my God.
He can't handle the truth. I want to hear the secret.
First, he lied about he graduated from Georgia. Dude, everybody know you didn't graduate from Georgia. You left in 2 years.
Then you got 800 employees. Then you got 800 employees.
Don't forget 45 to 5,000. Don't forget about the 45 to 5,000.
Yeah.
And then he's not, I don't think, and Vi, you can speak to this if you wouldn't mind. I don't know that he's going to get the VA, the military vote, because of how he put those people, forcefully committed those veterans to mental institutions and took their money.
Yeah.
Act like he was doing something.
But I'm just saying, what you got? What you're talking about? 800 employees. You really got 8 employees. Okay, you come out and say I got 800 employees publicly on video, and the record says you got 8. Then on the other hand, you said you got a COVID machine.
No, it's covert. It's covert. It's covert. Yes.
Then he talked bad about black men.
Oh,
not taking care of their full responsibility. We found out.
Oh, it was talking about him with the secret babies beating up. Right.
To the guy.
Woman took him to court.
It took him 2 years to finally give child support.
That was just one baby. Don't forget about secret baby. Then he got the other child.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
But he was beating up the mama. So Herschel, you can go kick rocks in an open toe shoe with a broken heel.
But it's close. It's still close.
But it's close.
It's a shame that it is. It's a shame that it is.
I understand that. And then he had the nerve to talk about Trump and he said Trump taking his credit. I'm going, what? You said that about Trump?
It's going to be scary.
Trump ain't said nothing bad about him either.
No, he's not. And he's not.
Because that's his guy.
Yeah, since he killed Herman Cain.
Oh, damn, you're wrong. I'm just going to whisper that.
But he did. It ain't said.
He did.
Ain't nobody said anything. Ain't nobody said nothing about it.
On camera, too. It's like sitting up on camera without a mask. There you go.
Nobody said nothing about it when it happened.
Yeah. All right, Tonya B, you ready?
I'm ready. Please. People please.
That's what y'all saying.
Enough already. Yeah.
That's my blood pressure. Go ahead. Here we go.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all.
Yes.
Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
Tonya B, what you got? Let's do something funny. As if this ain't been funny enough.
No, I'm going to try to make it. At least I may not make you laugh. I'm going to make you smile. This week on the Celebrity Prayer List, we actually call it the Gangsta's Paradise Prayer List, because if you watch The Sopranos at any time, you knew about the character Paulie Walnuts, and that was played by the actor Tony Sirrco, who was also in Goodfellas, and he passed away. You believe he was in assisted living in Florida. He passed away, and just a little trivia, he got the name Paulie Walnuts because he hijacked a truck for the mob, thought it was full of color TVs, it was full of walnuts. That's how he got his name.
So he was a real gangster then, right?
Well, basically speaking, then we got to talk about James Caan. Yeah. Although he was known, to the children's for the movie Elf with Will Ferrell, but then he was also, Misery with Kathy Bates in the 90s. But
that was my movie, Misery.
Yeah, but two of his, I think, most pivotal roles were Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. He's the one that went and beat up the brother-in-law that put the paws on his sister, beat him with a trash can and bit him. And the guy said in real life, when it was all said and done, he had to actually seek medical attention because James Caan broke a couple of his ribs.
Wow.
Yes, and then we also know him, and this was a turning point because it was early 70s, the movie Brian Song, the story of Brian Piccolo and Gail Sayers with Billy D. Williams. That was his first big role.
Hey, you know how it was back in the day? Those movies like that came out annually, so they come out at the same time on TV. It was like an ABC
that was one.
special,
See,
right?
that was right. Unlike The Godfather and other movies that were in the theater.
Yeah,
Brian Song was a made-for-television movie.
ABC. Yep. Good movie.
So rest in peace to them, along with the golden voice of Mitch Faulkner and I say, Mitch Faulkner and even J.R. Dino, they just left a lasting impression. I think they reached out and really touched more people than they know. So although if there are people in other countries and other states that, are not familiar with them, I would just say, just Google them and help yourself and, learn something.
Yeah, I agree. And, Mitch's voice was in, London, Nigeria, South Africa, Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Denmark, and the Bahamas. Yeah. So he was worldwide. Yep.
Yeah, so if you are, I know you're a movie fan, Tommy B. Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever hits the big screen November 11th. That will include a tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. And they're going to introduce some new villains. But this is one thing I want to talk about now. Last weekend we were in our various places, and I'll just say this. I got out of Philadelphia in time for that fireworks shooting, which was right across the street from where I was residing at the time. Yes, it was, straight bullets go everywhere. So I was prepared to sit out on the patio and check out the fireworks. But anyway, and that's also the weekend that everybody knows about the Essence Festival in New Orleans. But I got to tell you that they dropped the ball this year. I know they had to do things differently the last couple of years because of COVID. But when I say they dropped the ball, and here is why. I just found out 3 days ago that they were live streaming Essence Festival free on Hulu. Who knew? Did you know that?
I didn't know. I never saw anything.
Me? That's what I'm saying. Whoever's in marketing at Essence, move over because I'm coming through, honey.
What do you think? If they recorded it, if they were showing it, it has to be on demand. Wouldn't you think?
Well, some people took it from their TV on Hulu and put it on YouTube. I'm not naming names, but here's the thing. I guess Essence figured they got their money. Hulu's trying to expand their footprint. But here's the thing I thought was really kind of janky. A lot of the things were live. You had like Lauryn Hill, you had Jasmine Sullivan. But when you got to the legends like Janet and the Isley Brothers and Miss Patti LaBelle, they put them on like at 3 o'clock in the morning when their fan base is asleep.
Damn. Wow. Hey, let me. I got the question though. Did Lauryn Hill show up on time?
No, she showed up, but she was not on time, looking like she just came from cleaning Aunt Kizzy's back porch. But anyway, so I just want to say this. So you have people like Patti LaBelle, and Patti will tell you she's 78 years young, but Patti LaBelle was out there in that Petri dish, because when you see all the people in that Superdome, I'm telling you, somebody walked away with COVID, monkeypox, or hepatitis. But let me tell you this. Patty's known for wearing her pumps. She did it with her stilettos on and off. Miss Patti was out there in all of her glory, crip walking, honey. I was like, where's Ice Cube? Where's Ice Cube, honey? Patti was out there crip walking.
No, she didn't.
Yes! She was out there crip walked off the stage when she got finished, okay? With
Patty.
no music.
Patty about 80, right?
Excuse me? Anyway.
Patty about 80?
No, she will tell you she's 78 years young. Don't play with her.
That's about 80. Okay. Go ahead.
Ron Isley's in his 80s. Yeah. And so let's talk about Patti. She was out there doing her thing. And, she's got her food line. She's got the spices. Mm-hmm. She's got the patty cakes and the patty pies and the patty cobblers in Walmart. But now Miss Patti got patty pancakes. What? So you can go to your Walmart. They come in regular flavor and chocolate hazelnut. So Patty's like, I'm not going to be out here kicking off my shoes forever. And then you got like...
Wait a minute. Are they frozen pancakes?
Oh, yes. They're frozen. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I That means Peanut and them can steal them. But anyway, they are.
I will not be getting bubble gut.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, these frozen. I mean, every place I go, it's like with the heat, they don't keep these freezers up to the.
I know.
So you get frozen stuff. Especially yeast. You know what I'm saying? That stuff needs to be cold
that's why,
all the time.
Like me, that's why I got my frozen food bags and I take them with me. And they have served me well. One time I was delayed. I actually locked myself out of my car, and I had to wait for my neighbor to bring me my keys. It took her a half an hour to get there, but my ice cream was still intact, honey. So get yourself a frozen food bag.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna call you, Patty. I'm gonna call you. If I get
I just want to say this. Now you got these legends like Patty, Ron Isley, Janet was still doing her dancing and all. It's funny now, Janet's back to work now. She's losing weight like crazy. But anyway, and they're out there dipping it and doing it. And then you got, here come Lil' Kim in New Edition, especially Bobby Brown. Let's call a thing a thing. They out there huffing and puffing. I said, y'all better go call Tina Turner and get her oxygen tank because y'all going to need it. These legends, they showed them up.
Wow, they got to stay in shape, though. I mean, Bobby's got health issues. He's got some major health issues. So
I know, but you know what? They were all out there huffing and puffing. Little Kim is, I guess, let me just keep it moving. I also want to tell you about, I think, no, we weren't here last week, but I'm sure everybody has heard that Denzel Washington is one of the recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It is the country's highest,
Go ahead.
It is this country's highest civilian honor. Also, recipients include Steve Jobs, the late Senator Bob McCain, Megan Rapinoe, Steve Jobs from Apple, and Denzel. And Denzel could not make the ceremony last week because he came down with what?
COVID.
The Rona.
The Rona. It's still out here.
Yeah, and they're up to like the mutant 5. So when we get these next round of vaccines and boosters, it's going to be something different. Because that's why these numbers are rising so much, because this new strain is resistant to what we've all got in terms of vax and boosting.
Yeah. So
there's going to be a special on TV later on this year, and they're going to, of course, Denzel will have, I guess, his own private. They're going to redo the ceremony for him. So look for that later on this year. I just thought that was kind of cool. And when you talk about numbers, they're up 25% in Georgia. You may have noticed in New York now, Eric Adams is asking people, inside, outside, and in large groups to put masks on. So here we are back with I know, but here we are with this summer again. These numbers are going up. People are trying to go to concerts and parties and festivals, and I'm not doing large crowds.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
You and me both. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think, I get it, to some extent where people are saying, look, I've been boosted, but I was watching the news this morning, and they were talking about the fact that people get it multiple times. You can get, you get corona.
Jimmy Kimmel has had it 4 times. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel has had COVID 4 times.
But they're saying the more you get it, the more debilitating it can be. You understand?
And that's people don't understand. There's 2 things that COVID will affect the rest of your life: your heart and your lungs.
Yeah.
So just
you really
keep that
have to
in mind.
Be careful. You can say, "Well, I'm boosted. I'm gonna be all right. I'm not gonna die."
No, I'm not going to. You're not going to die, but your quality of life as you age is going to be diminished. So all y'all out there tootsie rolling, dipping it low and spreading it wide, just be prepared to. You can dip it low and spread it wide on your walker when you get older.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What you got next time, B?
I want to tell you. I got to tell. This is the dumb donkey. I got a dumb donkey this week, and this guy is so dumb. You can say, how dumb is he?
How dumb is he?
Okay, his name. First of all, his name is Fontrell, so that should tell you something. Fontrell.
I know where this is going. Go ahead.
Yes, he's a rapper, a former up-and-coming rapper, and here's why I say former. His name was Nuke Bizzle, and Nuke Bizzle got $1.2 million using 92 fake names to get COVID unemployment insurance funds.
There you go.
And you know what let me guess what he did with it.
What did he do?
Flexing and made a video about how he ripped off the government. So when the feds rolled up to his door, the feds rolled up to his door, not his door, his door.
Yeah.
20 years.
Because and this is what's going on with Future and Gunna. I'm not Future. I'm sorry. Young Thug and Gunna is they're using the lyrics against them, and a lot of organizations, and your boy Kevin is fighting. I'm just saying he's fighting for their right to use these lyrics, not for the feds, but for rappers to have freedom of expression. But my thing is, if you're gonna put your business out there, like I just
exactly.
Then,
but here's the gag. Now
you're not going to jail because of freedom of speech. You're going to jail because you
committed a crime.
Right. So you just
wait. What about this nurse allegedly that got popped trying to smuggle drugs into the jail for Gunna? Kevin Lyles ain't talking about that. Young Thug's, I think his nephew was murdered this week. Ain't nobody talking about that. So you know what? Kevin Lyles, again, I say you're doing the right thing, but all the wrong reasons. Okay, that's all I'll say about that.
But again, I must say, and I always preface it by saying innocent until proven guilty. But again, I mean, I'm just saying, to guys in the business.
But you have to give the evidence.
If you putting your lyrics out there and the lyrics have merit to some of the stuff that you're doing, eventually they coming after you. They're gonna come after you.
If you can't prove how you got that money.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna come after you.
Well, eventually, you can trace things back. People thought they were being crafty and cool, but 92 fake names.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
1.2 million. There are people that didn't get unemployment that could have really used that money.
Yeah.
He's out here flexing, trying to go viral and Tootsie rolling. And then when the feds, got rolled up to his door, he was not hard to find.
Dude, you're going to jail.
No, he going to jail.
Yeah.
Jail.
I have no love for you. Going to jail.
Me either, yeah.
What else you got, Tonya?
Yeah.
What else you got?
Real quick, I just want to say that word from the curbs that there's another reality show coming, and I don't care because I don't watch that base model so-called entertainment. But wait, allegedly, and I was out in them streets, but I wasn't Tootsie rolling, and I heard a certain individual talk about, Nick Cannon trying to hook up all the baby mamas, and one way he's trying to spend some quality time with these kids is to put all them under one roof and have a reality show. Well, good and hell well, you will not see Mariah Carey and them babies he got by her in this show. It's all the other baby mamas.
Oh my God. Is it a tragedy or a comedy?
This is worse than when remember when the football player Terrell Owens tried that reality show with all his baby mamas under one roof to make money?
This sounds like the Flavor of Love.
Terrell Owens.
See, Nick Cannon has really, if he ever got cool points for being, if he ever got cool points for being, just a hustler, that has been diminished. Now he's talking about him and Elon Musk both had twins. And Elon Musk is out here, the whole populate the planet mentality. It's like, you need to go somewhere and sit down. And take Ray J with you, who says he wants to change his name. Ain't nobody think about Ray J since he got clowned down to the verses.
Wait a minute, hang on. Did you say Ray J?
Wish to have a fancy car. Wish to have $1 million plus. Go. Be in love.
You're wrong, baby. You're wrong. You supposed to make him look good, not make him look bad.
He making himself look bad.
That's what I'm saying.
And he also let's call a thing. Why he child and date him, and he had that baby out there talking about that's why he couldn't sing. That child should have been home in the bed. But anyway,
wait a minute, hang on. Did you say Ray J?
Wish to have a fancy car. Wish to have $1 million plus. Go. But long as you don't be in love, so tell me, pretty baby.
Do they not hear? Do they not test themselves when they get on the mic?
That tells you who can sing it again. But here's the gag: Brandy told him, "Don't go down there around there with them people at the verses." And he went, and now he getting Brandy's name tattooed on his leg or arm somewhere, but he doesn't listen. Yeah, but it's okay because Brandy.
They're like Satan's wife. They didn't like Brandy. She looks scared.
Okay.
But here's my thing. Brandy's telling him, Ray, you do, you being dumb donkey. And I'm telling Brandy is she gonna leave him back there with all them baby mamas and Princess Love because Brandy just got a new record deal. She got to deal with Motown Records and Ray J, she's not gonna let him mess up that bag for her.
Wish to have a fancy car. Wish to have $1 million plus.
Come on, bro. Don't do bro like that.
I'm just saying. I thought you said play it. I thought you said play it again. My bad. My finger hit the button by mistake.
You gonna play a Mario?
No, that's the watermelon. That's a visual.
Oh, yeah.
The Watermelon Chronicles. Yeah. So anyway.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want
my finger fell on it. Go ahead.
Well, if you want to laugh, let's talk about Tyrese Gibson. Okay.
No, not but me? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you do this story. I'm here to try to help Tyrese through this.
He's a good guy.
So am I. He just needs mental health. He needs some mental health assistance.
All right. What's the story?
Really?
What's the story?
Okay. Well, after he was, and it's funny. It's always him. He talked about his first wife, Norma. Then the second wife let them allegedly he put her and the baby out the house. And now she's like, I'm out this bee. And so then he hooks up with that so-called 20-something-year-old Instagram model named Zelly, and they were at NBA All-Star game. Then they were on social media doing some things that we didn't need to see up. When he was shaving her yoni, we didn't need to see that. But anyway, now, but wait. Now, then they had the fake breakup saying they were trying to get their numbers up and get more likes, and it's backfired because ain't no good going to come to you when you try to goop the children. So now he's on social media crying, talking about she was cheating on me with another woman. Did you hear that?
Oh, boy.
Who cares?
But wait, there's more. Oh, I don't trust me. Oh, but then he's asking God to forgive him of his sins. This is, I think, the third time. And I know sometimes it takes people a while to find their way. But then he's also, now what? She went from being the love of his life, and now he's asking God to, I got to get this right, y'all. Wait a minute. He is asking God to release him from her devilish allure. That's what it was. Yeah.
So do you think, does he have a movie coming out? It just seems to me that whenever stuff like this happens, whenever stuff like this happens with him, it's a movie. It's something to get him back in the conversation.
This is not the way to do it.
Like publicity.
Well, it's not, people say, all pub is good. This is not good. Number one. Number two, notice when they were out there promoting this, I think it's Fast and Furious 9 or 10 that's about to come out.
Yeah.
They didn't use Tyrese to promote the movie because he was acting crazy. So I think, all jokes aside, we need to go call Usher Board number 2 and lay him on the altar and lay hands on him because I'm saying he's struggling and he's hurting and he needs help. And yes, he is still not recovered from losing his mother, Norma, to COVID. But he need to get off social media because, think about it. Look, young people, this is a note to y'all. Take notes. When you get up and act a fool and say, I did this and I'm going to take it down, it's never gone. No. So if Tyrese ever had a situation where he had to go and get a job like normal people, he wouldn't get one because he looks like, I'm serious. I'm concerned. No, I'm concerned about his mental stability. Yeah. And if you become a liability like that, promoters are not going to book you to sing, in my backyard. I don't even have Tyrese. So come on now.
Talented brother, too.
He got enough money, but he never got to get out there again. So
yeah. We'll see.
Well, I hope he saved it. He's out there.
Ain't he talented in producing and writing?
For who? You?
Not for me.
That's not, you get my K. Tyrese producing your album?
Not Tyrese. I'm talking about Caan. Tyrese just can sing. That's all I know.
I got you. Okay. Tonya, but you got anything else? I got to ask you. I got to ask you something. Ask you about some stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
Why you didn't mention Doja Cat and
what is a Doja Cat?
I'm just saying Doja and the Strange Things boys. Of course. I mean, I guess the boy was wrong for taking her DM. She was asking one of the Strange Things, Noah from Strange Things, about another star that she wanted to hook up with, and homeboy put her DM.
Well, why didn't she just go find somebody to give her the direct hookup? It just goes to show you.
I guess she thought she was doing it through Noah.
She's on the D list. You get your agent to go. I want to, it happens all the time. But I'm saying Doja Cat's on the D list. And I just say, when you have somebody, again, here's somebody who was so hooked on vaping that they ruined their voice and have to get surgery. And I think there was more going into her throat than just that doggone vape, the vapors that she caught. She need to go somewhere and sit down, girl.
If you're a singer, why are you smoking?
Yeah.
Hello. That's exactly because she ain't a singer.
That was Whitney's
all these old young new girls out here.
That's they think vape is safe and it's really not. So
it's not. It's probably worse than tobacco.
Yeah. And the other thing I do want to mention, and not that we'll get into it with this show, but the Macy Gray comments and one thing. I mean, Macy came out and basically said that trans women aren't real women. She said that to Pierce. What's his name? I don't even.
Not Pierce Morgan, not Pierce Brosnan, but see, Pierce Morgan is baiting. He's anybody who's black. He's baiting him now. He's so mad because Megan, because Megan ditched him for Harry.
Somebody from the trans community actually came out and supported her for saying it, and basically said she's not transphobic.
But let me say this.
But go ahead.
That was Flame Monroe.
Okay, yeah, Flame Monroe.
Right, Flame Monroe, yeah. Who is a trans woman. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Again, I haven't watched here's the thing. People take these clips and they cut them up. Yeah. I have not heard the entire exchange. Yeah. So until I do, all I'm going to say is, Macy Gray, you came out in the 90s and you had that song called I Try, and she's still trying because, honey, she ain't hit a lick since.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Cool. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. All right.
It's Sunday, bye.
Yeah, it's Sunday. Just a couple of things on the TV tip. If y'all are watching The Chi, which I am, let me go on and give it up. Yes. On Showtime. Yeah. I gotta say, it's starting off pretty good. I mean, and I'm just wondering, I'm trying to get feedback from folks who watch The Chi, this Emmett and Keisha thing. And I know y'all may not know what I'm talking about, Tonya B, you don't watch it. But it's getting real close. And when that goes down, it's going to be interesting to see for those who watch the show where it goes. So Emmett and Keisha, is there a thing happening? You know, Trigg is starting his political career. This is the last episode. And it was a Christmas episode, Christmas in July, by the way, which I thought was interesting doing Christmas. That's with Ted, what's his name? God, on Apple TV, because they're only doing one more season. They did
Ted Lasso?
Yeah, Ted Lasso did the Christmas in July thing last year, too. And Mama Peach has got to give it up to who is Trigg's mom. Is she real, or is this going to turn out to be the wrong thing, turn out bad? So for those who watch The Chi, we love your feedback on these last few episodes. Also, The Man Who Fell to Earth, episode 10 was great. It's over pretty much. Some folks are wondering whether or not it's going to return. I don't think it's coming back. I think I looked at the numbers. It's under 1 million per episode in terms of people who watched it live. So it's like 500,000 people, you know, if not that many, maybe 200,000. So, you know, they're going to look at the numbers in terms of making a decision to bring it back, especially when you look at it, you know, it costs a lot of money to make. So if anything, it might leave Showtime and go to Apple, because Apple don't mind spending that kind of money. But I thought it was really good. If you watched it, I'd love your feedback. I watched some of the episodes a few times because I thought it was just that good. But again, The Man Who Fell to Earth, great actors, great show. I think it's probably up for an Emmy. Will be up in September. The other thing, I got to give it up to Thor, because I didn't think that they were going to do this kind of number. You know? Thor, Love and Thunder, third biggest this year, domestic opening.
Good movie.
Yeah, they did 135 million. Did you go see it, Vi?
When I saw it yesterday.
How was it?
Me and my daughter.
What'd you think?
It was not the typical Marvel movie, but if you want, it had a pretty good story.
Mm-hmm.
Little love language in it. It didn't have a lot of action to it, but I mean, it had action, but not more action than normal Marvel. It's more or less told its story.
Yeah, okay. Because you got his love interest was Natalie Portman, who I like Natalie, and Tessa Thompson was back in it again.
She is the president of Midland now.
Wow. Okay. So you into it? Look at you, little Marvel man.
Dude, yeah, I'm a comic book savant, man.
Yeah.
They came close to the comic book, but not quite.
Hey, did you like Doctor Strange's the last installment?
I did.
Multi-universe. You liked it?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good.
Damn, it's long. These Marvel movies, though, they're making them.
Thor's not that long. That's surprising. My Thor's not long like the rest of the Marvel movie.
How long was it? How long was it?
It wasn't quite 2 hours.
Wow, yeah, that is. Because typically they damn near 3. They'll take it over 2.5.
It came on at 3:30. You know they're gonna show the promotion, about 30 minutes of promotion. And when we left the movie, it wasn't even 6 o'clock yet. Wow, okay.
Well, good for you. You didn't have to sit through a long-ass bad movie. So I hate that.
Thor's a good movie.
But I hate when you go to the movie, it's like long as hell.
And you wasted your good snacks. I wasted my good snacks on this.
And I'm dozing off and shit.
But have y'all seen Elvis? I plan on going to see Elvis. I heard this.
Oh, dude, I can't go see Elvis, man. Look, let me tell you. I'm going to say this for my old school people.
The king of thievery? The king of music thievery? Okay.
This is for my old
movie. They say in the movie he gave credit to the people who took the movie.
That he stole from?
Yeah. I'm going to say this.
He gave credit to the people he stole from. Is that what you're saying, Vi?
Yeah,
he gave credit. Okay.
I only need to see Elvis once.
One guy said he was upset that Elvis stole his song. Yeah. But when he started getting all the royalties, he wasn't upset no more. Yeah. He need to come and get some more music.
That's what I'm saying. But I got to say this. There's only one, Kurt Russell. When Kurt Russell did Elvis, was made for TV, Tonya B, was that back in the day? That was
ABC.
Enough. ABC.
Yeah, ABC, yeah.
That was enough for me. I don't need to see.
Dude, you got to see this guy. This guy look like Elvis.
Yeah, they say that, but you know.
He does. I've seen him.
But who cares? I don't care about no fucking Elvis.
Because you don't care about Elvis.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the music, I respect the fact that he sold a bunch of records, but, you know, ultimately, okay, it's 2022, y'all.
All right, you know, he didn't have a really long career, which is interesting enough. He really didn't.
Compare.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for all those movies he was in, he would have had his career would have been considerably shorter.
One quick Elvis question though: how was Tom Hanks? Because people were saying his accent the whole time.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he plays Colonel Tom Parker.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to see it, but when you
I want to see it.
When you see it, let me know.
That'll be Vi's review. Vi, you can review that movie.
All right. Okay. I try to see it this week then.
Good.
Okay. Well, we done. I got to go eat.
All right. Well,
I got to go.
Go.
I'm only kidding.
I know you do.
3-hour movie.
Your thoughts, y'all?
Yeah, it's a long movie. Yeah, I heard it is long.
If you saw Thor, we want your thoughts. You can go to castropolis.net, castropolis.net. Hit the people poll button and leave us a message if you saw the movie. If you got comments about Mitch or you got comments about Dino, we'd love to hear from you. We'll probably use it in the podcast. Any comments on anything we talked about today, go to castropolis.net. Hit the people poll. We appreciate it. Also, you can go to castropolis.net. Our link is there. Everything G Podcast is there. You got the podcast, the stream. If you want to check us out live, some people like to, for some reason, watch us do the show. I don't know.
Come on down. They want to see my facial expressions.
I guess.
Like you want to see my facial expressions. Okay.
The podcast, stream, social media, email, all the information is there. Got to give last minute shout outs. Big thanks to Newton Collier. Newton's always sending us information. Newton in Macon, Georgia. Newton's featured in an article on Robert Scott, legendary band leader. And the article is written by, don't laugh, because it ain't his fault that his name is Clarence Thomas Jr. Okay, but I've known Clarence. He's a publicist. I know he's a publicist.
I would be like C.T.J. Thomas.
Clarence,
you know what?
Clarence is the coolest.
Hey, you need to get him another name, brother.
Clarence is the coolest of the cool. Great guy. But as you know, Newton is one of the former Sam and Dave Horns. He's a horn player, lives in Macon, and he's featured in there because the band leader that they're talking about was Newton's band teacher. So kudos to CT Jr. for writing an excellent article, and it's in the June-July issue of Macon Magazine. So for folks at Macon, or I think in the ATL, you can pick up Macon Magazine at Kroger, at some of the other folks. Kroger, by the way, bring your gas down, y'all. Kroger, damn. You got these other grocery stores up at like $3.95. You still at $4.30. Come on, you could go lower than.
They need to stop. Yeah, stop. The gas tax has been extended. Hey, they better bring the gas down. Otherwise, the people from Walmart gonna be over there shooting.
I found gas so high up there in Atlanta.
I found gas for $3.95. So I got to give it, yes.
Where?
$3.95.
Gas in Columbus is like $3.78.
What? Yes. But see, in Atlanta, the issue in Atlanta is they put these additives. They supposedly put these additives in the gas that makes the gas more expensive to combat the smog, the air, and all that shit. But either way, it's like
I am trying not to get y'all gas.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I live on the outskirts, so I ain't got to deal with that either, Vi. But $3.75, $3.90, that's where y'all need to get to. So, but shout out to Newton. I got to give it up to Newt. Thank you, man. He supports the podcast. And shout out to my buddy. I know he's gonna hear this. I'm gonna say his name. I'm gonna put some respect on his name. Clarence W. Thomas Jr. Thank you so much. You keep writing, man. Keep doing your thing. It ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. You didn't do it.
Why do you think C.T. Vivian called himself C.T. Vivian?
Why is that? Because
C.T. You know what? I'm done with y'all. Right. I'm done.
Y'all got any last minute shout outs before we get up out of here? Any last minute shout outs? Go to you.
Shout out to everybody in the DMV who checks out the podcast. We appreciate you. The Johnson crew in Boston, the Logans, the Francis family in Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you so much for your support. Now go to the podcast page and hit the donate button.
Donate. Shout out to I didn't say Indiana. Shout out to all our folks who definitely are discovering the show for the first time too as well. Vi, you got any last minute shout outs before we do benediction, man?
Yeah, shout out to the people in Georgia. We have to vote like we did.
Please.
Man, like when we voted Trump out. We got to do it again.
Hey, and when we voted Obama in,
don't let Herschel get in there and vote Kemp out. He gave us some money, so what?
He didn't give me nothing. He didn't give me nothing.
Some, but not enough.
I got that check.
I took that check.
Please.
But I would never vote for him. I got that check.
Me neither.
But here's the point. And I got to say this. I'm gonna let it go because we need to again wrap the show. But
these folks got to stop taking our vote for granted. I'm serious on that, because there were a whole lot of promises made, as you recall, prior to November 2020 that still have not been realized. And right now, I'm telling you, with Roe right now in peril or gone, that's going to be a priority coming up. And a lot of the priorities that we need, again, because we do need police reform, because these cops out here.
But you better take them judges to court for lying to us, saying they weren't going to vote against.
Nah, that ain't going to happen. Forget that.
Why not?
Because it's
they lied on the oath.
They can try.
How you gonna lie on the oath?
I would do it, Vi, but I just don't see Biden. Biden's not that kind of president, and which I think a lot of folks have a problem with. Because
I do have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean,
he's sticking to this old school, and the Republicans, and when they get a chance to get in there, they ain't gonna.
Dude, let me tell you, they are already talking about getting rid of the filibuster. They're already talking about it. When they get in, they're already saying that they're to get their things pushed through to basically get the abortion ban state by state. They're willing to push to get rid of the filibuster if they get the majority. So I'm telling you, I'm just telling you.
No, I believe you. The Republicans, they ruthless.
They ruthless, man. So y'all want to play nice? Go ahead and play nice. Go ahead and what did Michelle Obama say? Yeah, they go low. We're gonna go high. Keep going high. I'm going to Ghana.
How high? If they'll let us in.
Yeah. But hey, one more shout out, and then we'll go to benediction. I got to shout out. I know I've been doing a lot of these, but my good friends in South Africa, they send me articles on what's going on, and no country, continent, nation is getting. I mean, you had the shooting in Japan. The prime minister was basically assassinated.
Yeah,
so you got assassinations going on. But they had a 14-person mass shooting within the last day in South Africa. Orlandia is the actual area in Soweto. So condolences and I mean, the mass shooting thing is not. It seems to be something that's. I'm not saying it's worldwide. But definitely our prayers go out to our friends and listeners in South Africa who check out the show. Okay,
it's a common thing in America now.
Oh, it's like every week. We can't get away from it. All right, Vi, with that, man, I'm gonna throw it to you. You got the benediction, man. You need some music. You need some music, or you want to do it? How you want to do it?
Give me the music, my bro.
I'm gonna give you some music. Here we go. Hang on, let me find. Damn, I took your music. You got to go young.
You're going too long. I've been going too long.
That slot is taken. No, here you go, Vi. Here you go. Go ahead, man.
When we ask God why is this happening to me? I think the real question we are asking are, God, do you love me? Will you take care of me in my sorrow and pain? You won't leave me alone, will you? Is it possible that because we're afraid, God doesn't truly care about us? We ask for explanations. Instead, we must learn to say, Lord, I believe. I don't understand, and I probably never guess all the reasons bad things happen. But I know for certain that you love me and are with me, always. I believe it often takes more faith to go through something victoriously than to be delivered from it. Put your faith in God, and you come out stronger on the other side. Mark chapter 9, verse 23 through 24. Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believe. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe. Help thy mind unbelief. All he's saying, believe. No matter how bad your situation or what you're going through, believe. He will get you through it. Believe. Have the faith, people. Amen. Amen.
Go ahead.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Vi is headed over to Tyrese's house as we speak. Go ahead, Vi.
And then you going down there to Ray J's too? Okay, thank you.
All right, y'all.
And then to Kanye's. Yeah.
Y'all don't want me over there because I'll be speaking truth to him. Demon, get away. That's
what they need. Well, Tyrese asked for God to take away the devilish allure and forgive him of his sins.
He needs to stop it then. Stop it. Leave the woman alone, boy.
I know I got him started. Hey, y'all, but anyway, again, go to Castropolis.net, click G Podcast. Everything is there. Again, Tonya B, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you, Vi.
Glad to be back, bro.
Good to be back. Good to have you back. And y'all, with that, episode 136 is in the can. Gotta say again, rest in power to our good friends, Mitch, Faulkner, and J.R. Dino. Again, J.R. Dino's information for if you're listening to this early in the week, July 13th, for his homegoing. I have that information on the podcast page. So you guys take care. And with that, we out of here. Peace. Fight the power, y'all. Fight the power.
Empower.
There we go.
Vote is real.
You've been listening to the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B. The G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.